let's talk about why healing is so important to women and business growth. So, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jackie. I have been running my business for 7 years now, and I do these videos to really help women understand how they can get more out of their business, how they can grow their business, and how they can set really strong foundations. And one of the things that I've noticed time and time again is that healing and being in community is so important to that process of running a business successfully. So we're going to talk about a couple of different things as we go through this process. We're going to talk about the impact of your environment. We're going to talk about how a healed community can give you so much power. We're going to talk about the importance of sharing, because this is like one of my biggest things that I have to tell people as we go through this. And then we're going to talk about community in business. So actually like how community works, how it supports business, what this looks like. And then actually building your own communities and where you can do this and how you can do this as you go through this process. Okay. So let's dive straight in to the impact of your environment. This impact of you surrounding yourself by people. Now, we are surrounded by people all of the time, okay? We're always surrounded by people. And these people can either be super helpful to our journey or they can be super detrimental to our journey. And most of the time when people are stepping out and they're starting their own business and they are coming into the space of being an entrepreneur, they're coming from a place of employment. They're coming from a place of they've been employed for a number of years. Everyone in their family is employed. All of their friends are employed. Everyone around them is employed. And now they're trying to step out into this space. And your environment has a massive impact on what you believe is possible for you. So our brains are really, really cool. Our brains are constantly scanning to look at what is possible for us and for the people around us, for people like us, for people who are similar to us. And this is where you'll see so many people who will say things like, oh yeah, that person got far in life because they have X, Y, and Z, and I don't have that. Or that person succeeded because they have A, B, and C, and I don't have that. And it's really easy to distance yourself from results by saying that person has it and I don't, so I can't get the same result as them. Now, when you surround yourself in community and you surround yourself with people who are like you, and they have the results that you want, you are retraining your brain what is possible for you. You're retraining your brain and saying, oh my gosh, this is what's possible. So let me give you a really quick example of this. I am in a membership. I'm in a beautiful membership with incredible women. And in this membership, everyone was talking about money stories. They were saying, you know, they've always been in debt. They can't get out of debt. It's really, really hard. They're not sure what to do. They feel like this will last forever. You know, they've almost like made peace with the fact that they're always going to be in debt, like all of these things. And I just sat there and I was like, oh, this really jars me, because I used to think all of those things. I used to be that person saying all of those things and like living that life. And now I live a completely different life. I live a completely different, like in a completely different world compared to how I used to. So I dropped in and I said, like, I just want to share a story of hope here. And I just want to say that this doesn't have to be the reality. I just want to say I was 40K in debt, mortgaged up to my eyeballs, didn't know what I was going to do. And now I am living back in South Africa in the place that I've always wanted to like live. I am mortgage free. I'm out of debt. Like, we've moved so far from where we were, and it's possible. Like, it's possible. If it was possible for me, it's possible for you. And when I posted this story, like, there was a part of me that was like, I don't want to come across as like boastful. I don't want to come across as like, oh yeah, look what I've done. But then there was a part of me that was like, this is a sacred space. This is a space of people who want to achieve this thing. This is a space where people will know my heart and they will know what I mean and they will know why I'm saying this and they will see the value in what I'm saying. And after I posted it, loads of these women started to post back like, oh my God, that's so inspiring. Oh my gosh, if you can do it, I feel like I can do it. Oh my gosh, like this might be possible for me. You know, one day I could live that life. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And it was so, so incredible to be in that space and have these women go, oh my gosh, you're here in the space with us, you're one of us, and you've done this amazing thing. This could be possible for me. But if you're continuously surrounded by people who don't think what you want to achieve is possible, so people who are employed if you want to start a business, people who are in debt if you want to be wealthy, people who eat healthy and have healthy lifestyles if you want to be fit, like if they don't believe what's possible, they won't be able to support you. They won't be able to give you advice. They won't be able to share community stories with you. They won't be able to do any of that stuff for you because they don't physically, it's not physically available to them in their reality. And so I want you to really, really think about, I'm sure you've heard the saying, you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. When it comes to your business, who are those 5 people? Who are those people that you spend all of your time with? Who are the people? And it doesn't have to be directly. It could be the people that you listen to, the books that you read, the communities that you find yourself in, the people that you surround yourself with. Like, who are those people for you? And are you absorbing the right information? Are you absorbing the consistent, long-term, compounding, like big information that's going to get you to a large result? Or are you consuming the like viral quick step, silver bullet, like gonna be a flash in the pan, last for 5 seconds, it's not gonna actually get you anywhere? Or even worse, are you consuming the story that you can't do it and that you've got nothing valuable to add and nobody would pay you? And all of my clients have told me stories about people in their lives, family, friends, loved ones, saying these things to them because they are talking from their own place of fear. They're talking from their own place of being small and not wanting to put themselves out in the world. So I need you to understand that the people that you surround yourself with, your brain is continuously scanning and looking and saying, what is possible to me based on what I see around me? And the more examples that we can have of people like us from the same sort of background, with the same sort of disabilities, with, the same limitations, coming out and saying, actually, I've done this thing and this is incredible. Like, this is what's going to change your life. I remember when I was heavily in debt, I started following a coach, Lisa Bean, and she was literally talking about the fact that she had burnt a business to the ground. It was the process I was busy going through. And she was like 100K in debt before she started this whole process of getting debt free. And I was literally sitting in like half of that amount of debt, thinking, oh my God, okay, if she could do this, if she could, and she had depression as well, like there were so many correlating factors that I could sit there and go, oh my gosh, like she has depression. She has moved through, stopped a business, started a new business, gotten out of debt, like it's living this amazing life. I can do this too because I have somebody to look to who's done it before me. Another person that I followed was somebody who had dyslexia, somebody who'd started their business with dyslexia, Gary Vee, you might have heard of him. And it was incredible, like him coming out and saying he has dyslexia and, it doesn't change the way and how successful he can be. And actually it's a benefit. And all of these things, like it was so incredible to have this around me. And it impacted my environment to then go out and show up in the world. So I want you guys to think about this. What is the impact of your environment? Who are the people you're surrounding yourself? Who are the people that you're listening to? Who are those people that pop up in your social media feed? Are they actually adding value to the outcome that they want? Are they actually adding value to what you want to achieve? Now, one of the really big things that I love talking about is being in a healed community. So you don't want to just join a community of people who are all sitting in the same place and just moaning about the thing that they don't want. Communities have influence. We've spoken about this. So we have to put ourselves into the room with people who are achieving what we want, who have got what we want, who have healed from what we want, and who are making bold moves to get the results. So going out into the world and saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this, make this move, take this risk, take this chance, do this thing. And the only way you do that is by finding people who have already healed through the things that you want to heal through. Finding people who have done the things, taken the actions. So if you want to start a business, get into the room with people who are running successful businesses. Get into the room, whether it's with a coach or through a mastermind or through a membership. Get into the room with people who are doing the thing and taking the action and can actually tell you the quickest way to get there. They can actually give you real deep insight into what is possible. Okay? because this is what's going to make a really big difference for you and get you to that point where you're making bold moves and you're moving forward really quickly and, quantum leaping and collapsing time and like doing all of these amazing things. It's by the people that you surround yourself with. It's by the community and the things that you listen to. So when I'm talking about a healed community, this doesn't have to be a community of perfect people. Like there's no such thing. But you want people who are further ahead than you. So if you're just starting, you want a community of people who are already building their businesses. If you've already built the foundation of your business, you want a community of people who are making money. If you're making money, you want a community of people who are pushing to 10K. If you're at 10K, you want a community of people who are, pushing to multiple 6 figures or 7 figures. Like you want to be always pushing yourself to that next level of comfort, that next level of ceiling, that next level of healing. Because the more that we do this, the more that we're able to realize what is holding us back. Like it's so easy to get stuck in a thought pattern or stuck in a place with the community that you're in because everyone just thinks the same thing. Everyone just comes at a problem from the same angle. Whereas when you move into a new space with the new people and they think bigger, they think about this from a completely different place. They think about this in a way you never have before. And that is so, so powerful. Like, I absolutely love the communities that I'm in because they give me the ability to ask questions and get responses and thoughts and perspectives from other people who are maybe further along the journey in a certain aspect or who have a different lens to look at life through. Like, there's so much power in this journey. Now, the third thing that I wanted to just talk about was this idea of caring. So the importance of sharing in community is because we want to normalize things that are happening. We want to normalize the way that we show up. We want to normalize the things that are deemed to be difficult. Like I always say to people, building a business is not an overnight thing. It's going to take you, 2 to 5 years to build a proper business that is sustainable, that pays you for decades, that does all of these good things. It's not a case of just like, oh, I'm just going to post this one thing and then, my business is going to blow up. No, not how it works. Now, it's not to say that once you've got the skill set and you know what you're doing and you know the process and you've learned all the things, it's not to say that you can't make money fast. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you can't just go from having no idea to like knowing every single skill and learning every single thing and having overcome every single milestone, hurdle, like way of thinking, belief shift that you need to do overnight. It doesn't work like that. Okay. But when you get yourself into a community and you're sharing and you're asking questions, it's so good to normalize what is going on. Okay. So I always say to people that being your own boss, running your own business is like a roller coaster. There are highs, there are lows. Sometimes it's so fast, sometimes it's chugging along so slowly. You know that moment as you're getting to the top of a roller coaster and it's literally like before you drop and everything goes mental. Like sometimes business is that slow. Sometimes business is so fast and like so amazing and you don't know what is happening and you're just like flying by the seat of your pants and absolutely loving life. And sometimes it literally feels like you're flying upside down and other times it feels like, the most exhilarating and most like wonderful thing. Being on a roller coaster doesn't have to be a bad thing either. Like, don't let that be a bad analogy. Being on a roller coaster is exhilarating. Like, it's so much fun. And when you're like running your own business, there are times where it can feel really scary and like, oh my gosh, I'm at my limit. Like, I don't know if I can do this. This is so scary. But the more that we're surrounded by people who are doing it, the more that we can normalize. So, like, I absolutely love the Balance Code community that I run, but also the next level community that I'm in with my business coach. Because in both of those communities, we normalize different things. So, in the community that I'm in, like the bigger community, we literally have like people will drop into our community group and they'll literally share like having a really difficult day, this has been going on, that's been going on, like life is lifing at the moment and business is businessing and everything's coming in at once and I'm not sure what to do and like it's just like so hard. Another lady drops in and says, oh my gosh, yeah, I completely get it, I've been really sick, like so much has been going on and like I've still managed to do X, Y, and Z. And then like other people will drop it in and they'll be like, I'm having the best time in my business at the moment. Like, what support do you need? What help do you need? Like, how can we all like work together? I posted literally at the beginning of this month. We're in winter at the moment in South Africa, hence all the longs. But I posted at the beginning of this month that my guttering broke and my office flooded. So all like my whole desk literally had like a layer of water on it. All of my electrical equipment was covered in water, and I had like planned the whole day to like do content creation, do filming, get ahead, like get ready for all of the things that were coming. Like I was so excited. I had my whole week planned out. And then this thing happened and it completely threw me off. And I remember standing in my dining room, literally like on the verge of tears, being like, oh my gosh, what is happening? This is like so stressful. And then putting a message into that group and being like, oh my gosh, like what is life? My office just flooded. Like, and it was within like 45 minutes. I literally was working, went to go shower, came back, and my office was flooded. It was ridiculous. So, like, when I was going through that, it was so easy to feel that overwhelm and feel like, oh my gosh, what is happening? And then to like be so annoyed because I had this whole plan and this whole schedule and everything was going to be out. And just to like put it in a group of people who get it, like people who are business owners, people who know that pushing a schedule back can be really annoying, and have so many people come at me with compassion and be like, oh my gosh, that must be so difficult. Like, I hope nothing's damaged. Like, what do you need? Can we help at all? It's just so amazing. You just normalize all of this mayhem that happens as you run your own business. You normalize that things don't go to plan. You normalize that it's not all sunshine and roses. You normalize that, you know, things can be difficult at times and life happens and that impacts your business. And maybe you get sick and that impacts your business. Or, you know, there's so many things that can happen. But to have it all normalized and to suddenly not feel like it's just you that's not coping, or, you know, sometimes we'll all chat and we'll say, like, oh, yeah, you know, leads and signups have been a little bit slow this month compared to what they normally are. Is that the same for everyone? And everyone will be like, yes, or no, actually, maybe you need to try this or you could try that. Or, you know, sales have been coming in slower. Has anybody noticed this? Or recently I upped all my prices and I put in a thing and I said, like, I've upped all of my prices and sales have been coming in faster than ever. So like maybe this is something everyone needs to think about. Maybe you all need to like start thinking about, is our pricing still actually relevant for the markets that we're in? Like there's so many things that you can discuss and normalize and talk about if you're in this space and you're like able to go through this process. So these communities can be in life and in business. Now, I've given you loads of like business examples. Absolutely, like they're so incredible. But I've got examples of like so many communities that I'm in outside of business. So like I'm in the running community. I run for the running club. Like I actually run in the running club and we do cross country. So like outdoors, like off-road type races. We do like big road races. And recently, at the end of June, I ran my first cross country ever. It was hailing before I started running. As I said, we're in winter. While I was running, we had like two massive rainstorms. It was really cold. And I've never run cross country. I've never, like, I'm not a big, like, uneven ground, on grass, in the rain, being wet. Like, all of those things are new to me. And I had to run. So at cross country, they split it out. So every age category runs, and then men and women run like separately as well. So I had to run by myself. There was nobody else from the club in my age, like from my club in my age category that was running. Obviously, my husband was running a different race. My dad was running a different race. Like all the people I normally run with were not able to run with me in this particular race. And I started running and I was kind of in my head a little bit. And then it started absolutely pouring down with rain. And there was somebody behind me. And she just spoke up and she just said to me, like, what is happening? And I was laughing and I said to her, we're stronger than the rain. Like, we can do this. It's fine. Like, I can do anything hard for an hour. Like, come on, it was 10Ks. We can do this. And then we started running together, and she was from a completely different running club, somebody I've never met before, but we started running together. And we were just chatting, and she was telling me like she hasn't been running for a while because she's been injured. And I was telling her about my running journey and my injuries that I had back in the UK and how long they took to heal and like all of these different things. And then there were moments where it was like absolutely bucketing down so hard that we had to like walk and we were just like couldn't see anything. And the whole experience became so much more joyful and so much more amazing because I was in community with somebody. I was walking through that with somebody. I wasn't alone. And when we finished, like, she invited me back to their club tent and she gave me a crunchie, and like, well, a flapjack for my UK listeners. And it was just like literally so incredible, like so incredible to have that community. And like, we can do this in so many areas of our lives. Like, it doesn't have to be just in one particular area, just in business. Like, it can be in your hobbies, it can be in motherhood. Like, there's so many amazing mothering groups. Like, one of my friends is in such incredible groups of mothers, and she always talks about how it's so good and it like normalizes everything, and people are just talking about these like everyday things that she gets stuck in, and it's so incredible. And then she gets to be that person for like the newer moms that join the group and have just had their first kids, and like, it's just so incredible. Like, you know, the analogy that it takes a village to raise a child. Well, I believe that it takes a village to become a successful, well-rounded individual. Like, you have to surround yourself with people and inject yourself with so much positivity and joy and like vision for the future and ability to say like, oh my gosh, all of these things are available to me and I can have all of these things. Like, one of the big things, like, and for me, if you know me, if you're a part of my world and you've been here for a while, you'll know that community is a massive thing for me. I love building communities. And that's why, like, the Balance Code Business School is a community. It's an evergreen. You pay once and you come in forever, because business isn't just a, oh, 1 year and you have all of these things sorted. Like, it is something that is a constant growth and constant learning and constant challenges, and that's what makes it so incredible. But you'll also know that I've got the Diary of Discovery podcast, like the podcast all about healing and trauma, and it's a community where we do guest interviews. We're creating that space and that Instagram where people can share their own stories and say like, this is what I've gone through and this is how I healed and this is how it was helpful. Again, to normalize trauma, normalize healing, normalize struggles, normalize business, normalize making shit tons of money as a female entrepreneur, normalize it being easier than it's ever been before, like normalizing challenges happening and you being able to deal with them. Like, there's so many things that we need to normalize and know that it's not one or the other. Like, business is about this duality of everything. Like, money can come to me easily and flow to me from every different place, but I can also be dealing with a challenge in my business right in this moment. I can also be struggling to get something to work or frustrated that I don't have, everything that I want, but I can still magnetize and make things easy. Like, there isn't a one size fits all. There isn't a, this is the only way that it can be. It gets to be as easy as you want it to be. Like, that is the beauty of this process. So if you absolutely love the content today, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. Like, I absolutely really want this community to grow. I want this information to get out to millions of women across the world. I want people to know this information and know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I want to build this community here. If you want to come and join us over in the Balance Code community, we would love to have you. Oh my gosh. Otherwise, you can listen to the podcast. The podcast is obviously free. It's available on all of the big channels. You can go and you can listen. But I really just want to say, like, keep tuning in, keep coming, keep listening, keep taking the, like, doing the actions, taking in the information, doing the work. Next week, we're going to do our meditation. We always do a meditation each month. And I cannot wait to share it with you.